Hi, everyone. Oops, not on. Now I'm on. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Sewing Machines Plus Takeover Tuesday. My name is Karlie Belle, and I am taking over today. How are all of y'all doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. I'm very, very excited to be here. I hope everyone can hear and see me okay. Of course, I always do this, but I forget to turn on my microphone sometimes. So I'm glad I caught that right when we started. But hi, so I just want to take a quick minute to tell everyone in the chat hi. I see Maggie and Chris and Carolyn, and I think I saw Joanne Banco's here. Hi, Joanne. She is another one of the wonderful ladies that does Takeover Tuesday with us here on SMP and always has wonderful classes. So I hope you are doing good, Joanne, and everyone else. So today I'm very excited to be sharing a quick, how can I say this? Let me say this right. A quick in the hoop project that you can make Christmas gifts for friends, family, and coworkers. I have this design for you free on my website right now. Let's see if I remember how to do this. I made a thing. Is this it? There we go. There's something above my head. So this is my website. It is karliebelle.com. And all the fun stuff that I do for SMP, I have a special page for them on my website. So if you just go to karliebelle.com/SMP, you will see all of the fun projects, including today's project for SMP, which is going to be this fun in the hoop quilted mug rug. So this is what we are going to be making today, and I have for you as a free download on my website right now. So if you haven't gone and grabbed it already, use this website here. I think also Andrew's putting it in the chat for us, so you should see it in the description box of this video. Should take you straight to this project. And on that page, you're going to see all of the supplies needed for this project with links to the supplies that I'm using from Sewing Machines Plus, and also a link for you to go and download this design for free. So it's gonna, when you click it, it asks you to enter your name and email. And I have it set up to where it's automatically going to email you the zip file for this design as soon as you do that. So it's all set up. You should get it instantly. So then you can join us in the fun of today's class. So, all right. So some of the things I wanted to go over with you today is I love the possibilities within the hoop projects that we could make this completely on our embroidery machine. And it has some built-in little quilting diagonal lines. And I'm also going to spend a little bit of time on Brilliance Essentials. And I'm going to show you how you can personalize this mug rug with a family member's name, a cute saying. You can add one of the embroidery designs you already have on your computer or your machine to liven it up a little bit and make it a little more fun or personal to the person you're giving to or for yourself. So that is what I wanted to show you, and that's what we're going to be making today. So let's see real quick. Let's look at the supplies we are going to need for this project. So this is the in the hoop mug rug. And you can see what the back looks like. It's kind of made like an envelope on the back. So the supplies you're going to need first is I'm using a no-show poly mesh stabilizer, and I love the Stay Perfect brand. I am actually running low and need to order some more. I usually use the medium weight no-show, or it just the tube usually just says no-show. I ran out of that one. I need to buy more. So I had a tube of light. So that's what I'm using for today's project. I did for both of these and they came out fine. So any kind of no-show mesh cutaway stabilizer is great for this project. If you are also running low on things like I am and just have a medium weight cutaway, that should also work well for this project. So you can grab your stabilizer. You will also need a piece of quilt batting. I kind of just cut some pieces based on my mug rugs that I already made, but I do have dimensions for you on the website. Let me look at it real quick and I can show you what it looks like. Let's see if I can pull this up. Okay, it might look a little crazy for a second there, but here's my website, KarlieBelle.com. And this is the post with today's info. So here's where you can press to get the free quilted mug rug design, or you can press right here too, and it's going to take you to the page where you enter your email address and it will send it to you automatically. And here's the cuts for all the pieces of fabric we're doing today. So my quilt batting is 6 by 8 inches. I have 2 pieces of front fabric. One is 6 by 4, the other is 6 by 6. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of fabric for the back, approximately 6 by 6. And here are all the other links to supplies and so on. So I just wanted to show you that. Let me get back to the comments so you could see all of that there. So here's my very poorly cut 6 by 8 piece of quilt batting. For today's mug rug, I'm going to use these 2 fun fabrics for the front. I have this blue snowflake design and this cute holiday light design. And so that's going to go like that on the front. And then I have this grayish, almost looks like snow, 2 pieces of this for the back. All right, and I have my little mini iron is heating up because I need to press some of these. And we're also going to be pressing on the back pieces. We're going to fold them in a little bit and press them so that we have a nice finished seam on the back when we're done. And I'm going to show you some options if you want to permanently close this bit here, you can on the back. All right, and then other than that, you just need your thread color of choice. You are going to see the quilting on the front. Everything else, it doesn't matter what color thread you use because they'll all be hidden on the inside. The only one you're going to see is the quilting. Unless you want to personalize it, then you'll need your thread colors for that. I typically always have some little applique snip scissors to help with thread tails if I need to trim anything. And then I love this clover stiletto that I use to hold things in place. They've got some tricky parts where the presser foot drags over these, and I want to make sure it stays nice and flat when it's stitching. Something that can help you if you have issues with things catching on your presser foot when you're stitching is I use paper tape or embroidery tape. I have this one from Karlie Belle that you can sew through and then just peel and tear it off when you're done. That's very helpful with projects like this where the presser foot can sometimes get finicky and catch on things. I think that was it that I had for my supply list. Let me double check myself. Tweezers I use sometimes when if I have some threads I need to cut, it's nice to have a pair of tweezers to pull and then scissors to cut. If you're using a flatbed machine and if it doesn't already have a thread stand built in, I highly recommend using a vertical thread stand. Today, I'm going to be using my Brother Stellaire XJ2. And on this machine, one of the things I love, if I can do this, is it has this built-in spool holder here, and it goes vertical and up and then through the thread path here versus using the horizontal spool holder built into the machine. I like the vertical ones a lot. So whenever we're doing projects and if you have a flatbed machine that doesn't have a spool holder like that built in on the top, then I like to use a metal thread stand. I just find it helps with my tension with the thread going into the machine much better than that horizontal stand. So I always put that kind of stuff on my supply list in case you are not familiar. All right. So I think that's everything for supplies. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat that's going on here on the live, or if you're watching the replay later, you can always type your questions in the comments under the video as well. So step number 1 is we are just going to hoop your mesh no-show stabilizer. One of the things I love about in the hoop projects is that I don't have to figure out placement for anything. I can just hoop stabilizer and get going. All right, so I have my stabilizer. Make sure my hoop is going the right direction. My inner and outer hoop with the arrows that line up here. Tighten this up. And this is a 5x7 hoop. The mug rug just comes in the one size and it fits perfectly in a 5x7 hoop. So if your machine doesn't have a 5x7 hoop option, if it only goes down to the 4x4, I'm sorry, this project won't work. But any machine with a 5x7 hoop or bigger, this design will work in a 5x7 hoop. If you have a bigger hoop, you just have to use more stabilizer. Is one thing, it wastes stabilizer when you use a bigger hoop. But yes, 5x7 hoop is what you're going to be using, and your mesh stabilizer. And then you're ready to go to the machine. And then we're going to bring all of this over to the machine and add it as it's needing. So step number 1 is going to be what we call a placement stitch. And this is going to show us right where to put our quilt batting. So we're going to go, and I have the design already sent over to the machine. And I did also want to show you some options if you wanted to personalize it. I think I might show you that while some steps are stitching. This is a rather quick project, but I do want to go over some of those things with you today. But let's go ahead and get started. So at my machine, I was able to send the design over wirelessly. I just opened it in Brilliance Essentials. And I went to, and I could show you this after on the computer itself, but you can send designs wirelessly within Brilliance to any Brother or Baby Lock machine that has Wi-Fi capabilities. It's just important that your computer and the machine are on the same Wi-Fi network, which typically people only have one Wi-Fi network in their house. So it's pretty easy to find. So here's my quilted mug rug. I'm going to hit set. I'm going to hit embroidery. And I'm going to put this on. I have a light green thread already loaded. I'm just going to go ahead and leave that on until I get to my quilted part, and that's where I'm going to change it to something different since I'm using brighter colors for this mug rug. All right, so I lower the presser foot. I have a green light. It's ready to go. And that is going to stitch my placement stitch. Okay. Now, depending on your machine, I have my presser foot set to the default height, but sometimes with projects like these, they get a little lofty. We're building up between batting and several pieces of fabric where it may be an option for you to raise your presser foot. And this is all going to depend on the machine you have, if it has that capability. But where you would look is in your settings, which on Brother and Baby Lock machines, it looks like a little sheet of notepad paper with a folded corner. And right here, it says embroidery foot height. And mine is set to 0.06 inches. And I have a plus minus button where I could increase or decrease that if you wanted. And here's a tip for you. If you're ever worried about messing with your machine and you want to go back to the default, notice how my number here is highlighted in black. Let me zoom in so you can see it a little better. Okay. So do you see how my numbers are highlighted here in black? Once I change it, it's not highlighted in black anymore. The highlighted in black lets you know that's the default, that's the factory setting of your machine, if you ever want to go back to that. Because I know I like to play with things a lot, and then I start freaking out. Well, what was it before? I want to set it back. I love that on these machines, they have that set for you. So if I go and change anything and I want to set it back to how it was, that's a nice cue for you to know that. So you may need to change your embroidery foot height depending on your machine. I just wanted to show that while we're here. So I have my placement stitch. And now I messed up my camera and I can't zoom out. Can I? No, now it's focusing instead of zooming out. Back up the camera. Manual. Zoom. Let's see. Okay, I think that's focused. So y'all can see the placement stitch, and I'm going to take my piece of batting, and I want to totally cover up that placement stitch and smooth it out. I've had issues sometimes where I put batting, and when the presser foot is down, and it may be dragging on the batting, and it'll do this. So I like to make sure it's nice and smoothed out. You do have the option to use some paper tape and like tape it to the stabilizer and the hoop itself to keep it out of the way. I find myself just using my stiletto. Okay, I don't want to thread the needle. I'll have to lower it. There we go. Now I got a green light. And I'll just run this along the back just to make sure that it doesn't get dragged and cause anything. But that is where raising your comfort foot will view it if you don't want to do this kind of stuff. But if you have a machine that is not adjustable, here's your trick. All right, so there we are. It's going to go on the outline of the batting, and then it's going to have a line down the middle that's going to help you with placing your front fabric. Okay, I'm going to take this off, and we're going to go to the craft table and talk about how we put our fabric down. And I might turn that camera off and on to see if I can fix the issue I'm having with the focus and the zoom. Let me do that real quick and see if that fixes. Now I can zoom. Okay. Make sure my computer picks it up. I think that's right. Is it moving? Yes. Okay, I fixed it. Yay. All right, back to the craft table. Here is our hoop with our batting tacked down, but then we also have a guideline here showing us where we're going to put our fabric. So I'm going to set this aside here, and I have my two fabrics for the front, and I have my iron warmed up, and I'm going to quickly press these. And you can, this particular iron doesn't have steam built in, so you can, sometimes what I do is I just spray it with a little spray bottle of water, or if you want to spray a little bit of starch, you can. But I'm just going to get the wrinkles out of these two pieces. And now using this line as a guide, what you're going to be doing is taking your front piece of fabric that you want to fill this square and lay it on this line here. And then the fabric that you want to fill this rectangle, you're going to lay and then put it right sides down right along this same line. Okay, so See, I have some selvage here, so I'm just going to make sure I got fabric going on the outside of my area here so I know it picks up well. So something like that. So that's where you want your fabric to be placed. It's going to do a stitch down the middle here, and then we'll be able to pull it over and we'll have nice finished seam here. So that's what we're working on. So have right side up and this one right side down right along this seam line here. And that's ready to go. And then we'll go back to the machine and it's going to stitch that line. Okay, and again, I can use my stiletto, or you can take these pieces of fabric down to make sure that they don't move. And then we are going to go back to the ironing mat and then iron and open this up and press it in the hoop. Okay, so here is our pieces are now tacked down, and we're going to pull this over, and with the mini iron that fits in the hoop, we can press the seam open without messing anything up. So just make sure your hoop is on top of a pressing pad, and just get that in place. Now, things to keep in mind when you're doing this is if you have directional fabric, make sure it's going in the direction that you want. I just kind of fussy cut this. I didn't make sure I had a nice straight edge. So make sure, you know, when you pull things over, everything's going to line up and be how you like it. Okay. Now, once this is done, we're going to have just another tack down stitch around the outer edge, and then is our quilting. So while I'm here, let's see, this would be fun. I might do this, or I might just do white. Let's do just white. So I'm going to do white thread for my quilting. So I have that already over at my machine. All right, I see one question here in the comments from Lan. She says, Carly, do you slow down the machine to make these in the hoop projects? No, I don't. I still have my machine going at full speed. If you are worried about anything catching, like especially when we get to the next layer on top, you are very able to slow your machine down if you want to. But typically, no, I'm not slowing down the machine for these projects. Okay. All right. Oh, the stylist reminds her of a cuticle pusher. That's funny. Joyce. Yes, it does, huh? You could fix your nails. I got my nails done today. Got my holiday red on. But yes, I love this because it has that silicone tip, and I'll touch my machine with it, and also hold things down. And then I have my pointy edge as well. Okay. So back to the machine. Now we're going to do that all around tack down, holds everything in place. And this is when this seam here, coming this way, it shouldn't be any trouble. The thing going back up, you got to watch that. Right there. Since I showed you this, I should go ahead and do it. I'm going to raise my pressure foot. Because, you know, yesterday when I did my test, it did catch right here when I was doing my background. Those are settings. I have the default is 0.06. Let's go up to 0.1. Okay. And it's very hard to tell, but now I can see my pressing foot is a smidge higher here. All right, and I'm going to put my white thread because I'm gonna do my, so this now is we're at the quilting step. I'm gonna do white for this one. That's more muted. Colors of the fabric be raise my purser foot. So I cut my thread and I pull it through. I never like to pull my thread backwards through the thread path. And now I am loading my white thread. And I love the automatic needle threader on this machine. It's so smooth. I never have trouble with it. It's great. Okay, and now I'm lowering the presser foot and we're doing the quilting. The one thing I'm going to tell you, the one reason why I do sometimes hesitate to raise the presser foot because it never fails. I forget to lower it back for my next project. And I've had issues where the presser foot is too high. I'll have issues sometimes with my embroidery. And it's not until I have a problem that I remember, ooh, I forgot to look at my presser foot. So write yourself a note, put a little sticky note on your machine. It's good to have little sticky notes around your desk, but and wherever you have your machine set up. Write yourself a note saying presser foot. You get presser foot raised. Put that right there. The next time I go and do a design that doesn't need it raised, I'm gonna remember, ooh, I need to lower that. But it is going to save your settings that it is raised. Okay, so the amazing mama had a great suggestion. She said she would cut off the selvage because inevitably it will get in the sewing area. So yeah, that is a good point. I made sure that it was outside of my sewing line here. And ultimately all of this is going to get trimmed off when we're done. So I just made sure that it was well beyond my seam. And my final seam is actually going to be on the inside of this rectangle that we have going on now. So when I placed it, I made sure that that was going to be outside of the area that's going to be seen on the final mug rug. But if you want to be safe and make sure you don't accidentally get it in the area that's going to be seen, yes, definitely trim it off. Someone's saying my mic is breaking up occasionally. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to make sure it stays in place. The connection breaks up when I'm standing. Maybe my machine is interfering with my mic. Okay, I'm standing away from my machine right now. Hopefully y'all can hear me good. Okay, so Lisa Schwartz says, where is the link for the design? It is on my website is KarlieBelle.com and do a /SMP. Oh, Andrew, you have the wrong website scrolling along the bottom. Y'all see on the bottom it says /shop. It should be /SMP. And that's going to take you to all my SMP projects there. Thank you so much for fixing that. Awesome. Okay. All right. So now that the quilting is done, we're going to take this off and get ready for the back. So this is the final step of the mug rug. And of course my iron turned off. I'm going to turn that back on. And we're going to take our two back pieces of fabric. And this is what's going to cover the back of your mug rug. And what we're going to do is we're going to end up putting it right sides down. But before we do that, I want to fold in the one end of each of these pieces. And I'm going to iron these in place. Now it is an optional, an option here if you want to put some, like, I think it's called fusible hem tape here. or even sticky hem tape, you can do that if you want. I didn't find it was necessary, but I do like the idea of when we're done with the mug rug, if you want to put some fusible or sticky hem tape right there, and then you could close it permanently so it doesn't have an open on the back. Okay, my iron is ready. So on my 2 back pieces, I'm just folding over like a 1/2 inch or so to create a nice smooth edge. And I didn't iron these pieces to begin with, so I'm going to do that. Get some of these creases out. All right, the stylus is Clover, and I have a link for it on the page that has all the supplies and the free design download. So it's on there. It's called Clover Stylus. All right. So here is our mug rug, and here are our 2 back pieces with the edges folded in. And now what we're going to do is right side down, we are going to cover up the back. And I usually have about, let's say, about 2 inches of overlap between my 2 back pieces. Okay. I would say at least the inch. You can go more if you want to. You just want to make sure that you have enough so that you're going to be able to turn it right side out when we're done, because it's going to be inside out, and you're going to have to use this hole to turn it. So typically I do about 2 inches of overlap between the 2. And then I'm just making sure that my fabric is going outside of my stitch that I can see already of the outer edge of the mug rug. And this is the part that gets tricky, where the presser foot can drag and hit it. So if you want to be safe, you can go ahead and tape this so that it glides over it, especially if you have a machine where your presser foot doesn't adjust up and down. Put some tape here. That's going to help it. Also, I'm forgetting this side too. It's going to help it glide over this section nicely. And this tape has a very low adhesive to it, so that it's not going to mess up your needle or gum it up or anything. And it pulls away really easily and just rips like kind of like tearaway stabilizer. Okay. So now that we have our back pieces in place, we have them right side down, we have them overlapping 2 inches, and I even taped where those lifted parts are. We are going to stitch the back, and this is going to go around 2 times to really help secure it, because we are going to be pulling at it when we turn it right side. Because I put that tape, I'm not worried about having my stiletto or anything running over, because now it's going through that just fine. And I think I told you. Oops. Something is messing up. It's still good. Okay. Usually I could hear when my machine something is not going right. It sounds different. But yeah, I had a little bit of nesting here from that spot where I heard it acting funny. But it should all be fine. That's all going to be on the inside of the mug rug, and we won't see it. Okay. Let's see. Before that, I was saying, I saw Joanne write something. Fat quarters and a few notions in a ball jar make a nice gift for stitchers. Add some chocolate for good measure. Very nice. Yes. These mug rugs I gave as a gift for all my girls' teachers. I found a really cute teacher themed mug rug set from Parker on the Porch. She's a designer, has super cute stuff. And they all looked like she did them on white fabric, and the quilting on it made it look like it was notebook paper. And then they had funny little sayings and quotes on them for teachers. That was super cute. So what I did was I got these little, they weren't these, but they looked like little wooden crates similar to this that they had at the Dollar Tree. And the mug rugs fit inside of them perfectly. And then I put a little Starbucks gift card with them. Or if you want to get them a cute mug with it as a set, you can do that as well. But these are great, I thought, for teachers, and they can keep on their desk in the classroom. Especially, and then you can use it with this one, and you can add a cute little teacher saying, or you can put the teacher's name, like Miss Washington or whatever it is, and add that to it to personalize it a little bit. You can add a little apple embroidery design, super cute to turn into gifts. So you see this paper tape, it pulls, tears right away, no problem whatsoever. And most of the time when I do that, I try to take it and then I'll reuse it for my next project. I usually can use it a couple times. So now that this is done, we're going to pop it out of the hoop and grab your scissors. And I'm going to cut, I guess, probably a little more than a 1/4 inch all the way around. But then I'm going to really cut my corners at a diagonal right on the mark. Okay. And you have this stitch line as your guide. So when I get to that corner there, I am going to cut it really close like that. And you can also use pinking shears for this step if you want to try and break up the bulk that's going to be in the seam here. I've done that as well. Cut that corner. And there's my last corner. So now you have your trimmed mug rug. And then this is going to be the part where you're going to use your opening here in those 2 folded pieces of fabric to turn it right side out. Like so. And then you could use a pencil. I have these pins with caps, and you can go and try and turn these corners out. I also have a turning tool, but a pencil will really, or a pen with it with a good cap will do the same there. You can get these kind of pointed out. And then make sure your iron is still turned on. Yes. And we're going to press it flat. Okay. So when that's all done, I'm going to fold that back, kind of roll my seams out, getting that bulkiness bit to stay on the back side. And this is the part where if you did want to put some fusible hem tape right there. You could just lay it right there and then iron or fuse that close. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I'm missing all the comments here. Let's see. Barb asks, has anyone put a piece of vinyl inside the mug rug to make it waterproof? No, I have not done that before. You could make the mug rug with some faux leather if you wanted to. Just skip the whole batting part and just do it. The only thing is that I wouldn't do a design that had two pieces. You could do just a solid one. Also, faux leather doesn't really like heat, so you're not going to be able to iron it when you turn it out. But if you used faux leather on the front and quilt cotton on the back, you should be able to turn it out nicely. I'm thinking about it. I've never done it before, but the gears are turning in my head right now thinking about it. I like the quilt cotton because it helps, and the batting because it helps absorb the moisture. And the good thing about these is that you can throw these in the wash, or when you're done. You could also just wash them under the sink and just let them air dry. Just pat them flat and let them air dry as well. But that's a great thing about it. You can, dump coffee on them, get crumbs on them. I had a Christmas tree cake on this one yesterday so that if you put some snacks on them, you can wash them after. And that is when maybe having that fusible piece of hem tape there is going to help this from, any frays or anything like that from coming out when you're done. But yeah, you can easily wash them with the quilt cotton and reuse them as much as you want. So let's see. And Barbara's saying she thinks a piece of vinyl could be slipped in after you turn it. Oh yeah, and Amazing Mama says she loves the Parker on the Porch designs. Let me go look in my closet real quick and see if I can find those little wooden. I think I bought a whole bunch of them. Yeah. I don't know if they still have these, but these were at my local Dollar Tree. And they're little wooden trays. And so they were, $1.25 wood tray. And they have a website. You can even order stuff on Dollar Tree's website. And look how beautifully that fits in there. See that? So for the teachers, I had their mug rug, I had a Starbucks gift card, and I took some ribbon and went both directions with the ribbon and wrapped that up and had the girls give that to their teachers for Christmas. And you can put some chocolate in there. You can build it up and have tea bags or whatever else, or you can do the mug rug with a mug and then put a coffee gift card in there, or tea bags, or whatever the case may be. So you could do something like this too as a gift and wrap it up and make it cute. So there's your ideas with the mug rug. I hope you enjoyed it. I do still want to go over, we have a few minutes left. I'm going to go over how you can personalize it because that's what I think makes it really fun. Let me check the comments real quick. Yeah, so Michelle's like, you could make your own saying with your fonts like Teacher's Rule, and put it with a ruler in your basket. That's super cute. I like that. Okay. Linda says, does Insul Bright make it water resistant? I don't know. Joanne could probably answer that. I bought some Insul Bright with intentions of making some like pot warmers and stuff, but I haven't actually made any of it yet, but I have it in my craft room. I'm ready to go with it. Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. So now I'm going to jump over to in Brilliance. Now this design is ready to go. So when you go and download it and you get the email, you unzip the file, you can just go ahead and send that directly to your machine if you have a wireless machine, or if you have a machine that takes a USB stick, you can copy and paste the design or just move it directly to your USB stick and send it to your machine. It is ready to go as it is. But if you want to play with it and personalize it, you can, and you have in Brilliance Essentials, that's the editing software that I use and love. You can open the design in Brilliance Essentials, and I'm going to show you that now. All right, how do I do this? All right, my computer's going to look crazy for a second. There we go. All right, so here is in Brilliance Essentials, and I have my mug rug opened up in it. And when I go over here to my properties panel, I can see this design has 6 steps. Each step is a different color, and I could really, see how the design is going to stitch out and be done. Now, if I want to personalize this design, what I want is to insert whatever it is I'm adding in between steps 5 and 6. Okay, if you want your design to come after the quilting, but before the last step where we add our envelope back to it. Okay, so let's just do a lettering design to start with. And what I'm going to do just to make life easier, you see my quilting step, I have it as a dark brown thread. Let me change it to white so that it's not so in our face. There we go. So when I put a design on top of it, I'll see my design. So I just changed the color there just to help me visually. Okay, let's do a teacher one. Let's do teacher's rule. So we can do lettering. And I had a whole class, I think, on embroidery fonts last month on Takeover Tuesday that you could refer to. But let's do teachers. Am I supposed to put an apostrophe there? I don't know. I'm going to leave it. The teacher should correct me. Okay, and then I could pick whatever font that I want. Let's do, I love Farmhouse Lemonade. Let's do, this is a sketch one. Oh, it didn't take. All right. Teachers. Okay, that's way too big. Let's go even smaller, probably 1 inch. Okay. And I think my seam is this one. I think if, oh no, it might be this one. So I want it to be inside that seam there. And I don't have, that's applique. I have another farmhouse one. Where is it at? This is what happens when you have too many fonts. There we go. This one's not, this one's just a plain one, not as fun as that first one, but I could do teachers, and then I can type rule, and I'll do that one as like a big, bold font. See, that's a little too big. But this one, here's 3/4 inch. There we go. And I could do that in yellow. I could do that in like a blue. Oh, this is fun. Let's do that. All right. And if I had an embroidery design of a ruler, I could merge that in there too. And then just kind of have everything in place. Which, let me look quickly. Let's look in my embroidery designs. And I think I have a whole school section. And here's pencil, back to school trio. Let me see if any of these, oh, my snack cakes might have a ruler. Here we go. Ruler. There's a ruler. It's a 3 inch. Let me do that. Drag that in. That was lucky that I had that already. So that is from Applique Alley, this little ruler design. They have a whole set of things. I have a whole sip and stitch on how to use these snack cakes. We actually made a super cute back to school design with them. And this is actually applique. If you go look at it, you see it has 3 steps. It has a placement, a tack down, and a finishing stitch. So I could put a whole new piece of fabric to fill in that ruler. And now if I wanted to put the teacher's name, or I could put the teacher's initials, I could put the school initials. So let's say my old high school was FHS. Let's do that. And then look, you see right here under style, I can make it vertical. And I could put that there. And I can change the font and do something else if I wanted. That's too small. I want like a Creative Appliques has a cute like varsity font. There it is. Something like that. I could have that on the side. I could do it in the school colors, whatever that may be. And so you could see how we turned this mug rug, totally customized it, and now it's a teacher gift. And I have it, my high school initials on there. You could put the teacher's name right here and a small cursive font under the ruler. This ruler bit is applique, so that's going to add even another fabric to the front of your mug rug. And what I want to show you, so now that we've customized it, we've done all these things, we still have to make sure it is in between these 2 steps. So you see this step 6, that's our last one. I'm going to click it and go to move last. Did that work? Nope, it didn't. So move last. Oh, because these are all more designs. Okay, I could also just click it and drag it. Put it under there. There we go. So now it's going to do all the steps of the mug rug that I showed you up to the quilting. Then it's going to stitch teachers, then rule. Then you're going to have your 3 steps of applique for the ruler. Then it's going to stitch the FHS on the side. And then the last step is going to be that step that tacks down your back 2 pieces of fabric. Last tip for you is when you personalize an in the hoop project, you have to make sure that you have some settings done correctly on your program, because sometimes the program can be set up to automatically remove hidden stitches when it saves. And when it comes to in the hoop projects, you never want that to happen, because you see these 2 stitches here? The outer edge is right on top of this one. And so if we remove hidden stitches, it's basically going to delete this whole first step because it's underneath this purple box going all the way around. So the way to prevent that is go to your preference window, jumps and overlaps, and make sure this button is not checked. This is what says remove overlaps when saving stitch file. So it's going to remove hidden stitches automatically. I don't want that to happen, so I make sure that is not checked and then hit apply. And now I can send this to my machine and it will all stitch out how it is supposed to. So let's go back here. Sorry, I couldn't see any of the comments while I was teaching that. So let me go back and check that now. So hi. Okay. So in Brilliance, we have a question here from Barb. What modules of Brilliance? So everything I just showed you, that was all done within Brilliance Essentials. And if you would like to learn more about how to use Brilliance Essentials, I have a whole online course dedicated to show you all of the wonderful functions of that program. And it's called Embroidery Essentials, and it is for sale on Sewing Machines Plus's website. And I also have it on my website, and it's completely online. It has over 50 video lessons. It's a self-paced course so that you could watch the lessons and learn whenever it is convenient for you, whatever time, and you have lifetime access to the course. So if you got way too much stuff going on for the holidays right now, like me, and you don't have time to sit down and learn how to use essentials, but you know what? After New Year's, I'm gonna have some time to myself. You have lifetime access. So you can go and watch the lessons in the course whenever you want and say, next Christmas, you're getting ready to make a mug rug or whatever the case may be, a personalize it in the hoop project, and you totally forgot how to set up the preferences and or anything that I taught in the lesson, you can always go back and refer to those lessons whenever you want. When you buy the course, you get it and you have it all the time at your own convenience. And it comes with a Facebook group access so that you could ask me questions. So if you're going through the lessons and you still have questions when you're done, there is a question submission form in the course that you can send me questions and I can help answer them for you. And we have a Facebook community as well. So it's really great. I love Brilliance Essentials. The program does so many wonderful things. I just gave you a little taste of it today. So check out my course if you want to learn more. So yes, today's module, what I just showed you, was strictly essentials. There are several other programs that are offered by Brilliance, and I do go over all of that in the course. But for example, they have Enthusiast, which has advanced editing features. Now, in my opinion, Enthusiast does not replace essentials. It's not like, oh, well, let me go ahead and buy Enthusiast from the get-go because I know I'm going to want those extra features. There are things that don't come with Enthusiast that come with essentials. So I think of it as an add-on program. Get essentials first, and then when you're ready for those more advanced editing features like individual stitch editing, adding a knockdown stitch, creating carousel designs, then you can go and purchase Enthusiast and add it on to your existing essentials program. They also have Stitch Artist, which is a digitizing program. This allows you to make your own embroidery designs from scratch. It has a learning curve. I'm going to say that. I've been using it for years. I'm still learning new things on how to use it. But the things that I do know, I do have some classes that I teach in my VIP membership group. So if you're interested in having more classes from me in the future, if you'd like to join my Sip and Stitch Squad VIP membership group, one of the topics we discuss in that group is Stitch Artist and how to digitize embroidery designs with it. Other modules, programs from Brilliance is Alpha Tricks, which I have and I need to use because y'all saw how many fonts I have. There's a better way to organize them, and that is using Alpha Tricks. And I think that's it. They have, the patch making software from Brilliance. That's excellent. I have that as well. We've done a class on patch making before here on SMP. You'll see that on my website when you go to karliebelle.com/SMP. If you scroll, you'll see a patch making class in there, and we go over that program. Okay, sorry, let me get back to the comments. Deborah says, isn't Brilliance just for fonts? No, it's wonderful for fonts, but it's not just for fonts. One of the things I love about Brilliance is that it has its own format of fonts that it accepts. So like typically with our machines, we're using, with my brother, I'm using .pes embroidery formats. With Brilliance, they have a .bx format, and that is specific for fonts that Brilliance recognizes. And that's when you saw me just go in and type the words out like teachers and rule and FHS, because I was using BX formatted fonts. I didn't have to go and find each letter in my files and merge each letter one at a time. With BX, it makes it a lot easier, so that you can just use your embroidery fonts just like you would in Word or Pages or, typing on a Google Doc. So not just for fonts, but I love it for fonts. But no, you saw I was able to merge embroidery designs. I can change the sizing of things. There was so much more I could have done with that design I just showed you, but we're running low on time, so I had to kind of rush through that bit. But that's when, if you're interested, come see the Embroidery Essentials course that I teach, because that's when I go into all the nitty-gritty detail of the fun things you could do with that program. Okay, Maggie says, where do you find your past SMP projects? I see the current one, or your past sip and stitch. Okay, let me show you quickly. All right. And desktop, there we go. Okay, so you should see my computer. This is my website, KarlieBelle.com. When you go here to blog and then go down to Sewing Machines Plus projects, that's going to take you to the page that is karliebelle.com/SMP. And when you scroll there, you see today's project. And if you click it, it will take you to all the info for today. So I'm going to go back. But if you keep scrolling down, you'll see all the other stuff I've done. So this was a in the hoop bookmark we did, a bag tag. This was a hoop fest class. This was the patch class. So if you click this, click the picture, it will take you to the patch class, and it has the supplies. And this was on Hoop Fest, but I think I wrote, if you fast forward to the 5-hour 26 time mark, that's when the class begins. So you can watch it on YouTube and fast forward to that part. But that's the page for all of my past SMP projects that we've done. So you can see all of those there. Now, Sip and Stitch, if you go here and home page, this is my monthly YouTube tutorial that I do, and I haven't uploaded it yet with this month's, but it's going to be on Friday, December 20th, and we're taking a break from embroidery, and we're doing a sublimation project on a tumbler. But I'll be updating this site this week, and it will say, December here, and I'll tell you all about the project we're doing. It's going to have all of the supply list. So this was November's project that we did. We did the split side on the sweatshirt. And if you click here, watch on YouTube, to the YouTube video for that. And where am I? I want to go backwards. Yeah. There we go. Back to the website. Yeah, and this is all the past ones. And then I've been trying to be good. If you go here to past projects, I try to have a blog post for each of my past projects. So I haven't done November's yet, but here's October's, and August and before, and so on. So each one of these has a blog post on a past Sip and Stitch. And when you click on it, it will have, it will have information. What happened? I clicked on something else. It will have information about that Sip and Stitch, and then the video for you to watch, the links, and then like step-by-step instructions. So I've been working on my website. I'm trying to make it better. So go check it out and play with it and explore all the fun stuff that I have on here. Okay, let me get back to comments. Okay, Barb asks, does Brilliance have a cataloging module for our embroidery designs? So another thing that I've made, and it's not a full-on course like my Brilliance course, but I call it kind of a mini course, is I've made something called my Embroidery Design Organizer. And it's a system that I've created for helping me to organize my embroidery designs. And I kind of showed you a little bit of it when I was going to find that ruler. I have a whole file folder system that I save my embroidery designs in. And then I've made 2 options, because I know some people are very tech savvy, and then some people are like, no, I want a binder. I want paper. I'm a paper planner, pencil, physical person. So I've made both of them. I made a printables set to help you organize your embroidery designs, your fonts, your craft supplies, all that good stuff. That's the kind of stuff I love. But I made that system, and I made a digital database system that can be on your computer to help you organize all of your embroidery designs. And all of that is in my embroidery design organizer. So if you'd like to check that out, that is also on my website. Okay. Lisa, is there just basic YouTube on understanding Embrilliance prior to purchasing it? I have done some free YouTube videos on explaining some of the features of Embrilliance that you could check out on my YouTube channel. Embrilliance also has a YouTube channel, but something that is going to show you everything in one place and in a nice, organized, systematic way. That's why I made my course, because Embrilliance is so much. It's hard to find everything you want to learn by searching on YouTube. So I tried to make it as organized and as user-friendly as possible in my online course. But I also have a blog post that I wrote all about all of the Embrilliance programs. You could find that on my website as well. It kind of goes over what each program does. But I always encourage people to start with Embrilliance Essentials. That's your basic editing. It does a lot, even though it's basic, but that's the one you need the most. And then you can add on from there after if you want more features. Okay. Oh, yay. Tina's so sweet. She said, I have Karlie's organizer and love it. Thank you, Tina. And Joe's like, I still need to get that downloaded and figure out how to use it. So one of the good things about the organizer is I have video tutorials built in showing you exactly how to use it. So you can go and watch those and figure out, and it shows you step-by-step how to use both the digital database and just print out the printables and make yourself a binder. Okay. Yay. Maggie says Embrilliance is awesome, very user-friendly, and still learning a lot. Yes. Yes. That's how I am like with Stitch Artist. That's a program offered by Embrilliance. I love it. I've been using it for years and I'm still learning new things. There's so many things that you can do with that program. It's awesome. All right. Okay, guys, any more questions? For those of y'all that tuned in late, this is a free design download on my website. They have it scrolling here on the bottom, karliebelle.com/SMP. Then you'll see the mug rug. You could just click on that. It's going to tell you all the things you need to make the mug rug, the fabric cuts that you need, and the link to the free design download. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thank y'all so very much. Appreciate y'all watching. Thank you so much. I see Crafting a Planned Life from Joanna. She's new to the channel, but thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed today's class. Awesome. And she said she's going to watch the replay later. Yeah, so go grab the free design, watch the replay. This is going to be on YouTube all the time now. So if you didn't have time to follow along in person today, go gather your supplies, put it on your TV or your phone and turn your machine on and get stitching. You can knock out a bunch of these. If you have a big hoop, you can put several of these in one hooping and knock out, 3 or 5 of them and have a bunch of Christmas presents made. I love it for teachers, coworkers, people you go to church with, family, friends, all kinds of fun. And you can make it really fun and make a cute little gift basket with it too. So, all right, well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. I'm sure Blaine is going to be live this Thursday back on SMP, so y'all come back. I will be live again on my YouTube channel next Friday for Sip and Stitch, where we're going to be going over how to make sublimation tumblers. So this is the kind of stuff I'm going to show you how to make next Friday on my channel. And if you're in my VIP membership group, we are going to be making a stuffed animal snowman all in the hoop on the embroidery machine. So that's going to be my VIP class this month. So thanks again. I'll see y'all next time. Everybody take care. Have a wonderful, happy holiday season. Bye, guys.